So what I'm having to do is to pry these floor joists up so I can get the floor even, where the edges are even, and then I'm gonna have to nail them to scab them together on another floor joist. I'm piling them up on stones. They've rotted off here at the end, so what I have to do then is extend more 2x10s over to the rock foundation over here, and I think once I get that, it's going to be more stable, more secure, and more level. So anyway, that's what I'm having to do, and I have this giant pry bar that I got from my father-in-law a long time ago. He was a farmer out in the country, but it's great. I'll tell you, I can get so much done with this thing. What I do is I put them in, I pry them up, and then I level them with blocks so that I can get them up higher, and that's working pretty well. So I'm going to keep doing this for a while. I'm getting them level, and I think it's going to work out all right. So it's some work, but it's got to be done, so here I am doing it. I'll gradually raise these up and get them in. About another inch or two, and I'll have this joist up as high as this floor is. And then I can scab them together and extend them on over to the foundation wall, and I've got a more level floor then, so that's good. So I'll just keep working away at this slowly and surely, and try to keep my fingers from getting pinched. And I've already had a couple of scars this morning on my shirt, my arms, so I've had to get on a long sleeve shirt, so maybe they're not so scarred up by the end of the day. But it's hard work, but it's got to be done. I'm the one here to do it. Well, here we are below my staircase that goes up to the upper part of the building. I had heard that there was a bit of a basement down here, but I've gotten under the floor. And of course, we've got floor joists that are all off. They've rotted ends and they've sagged down. But I can't really see much back here. But there is a brick wall here, and it looks like it does go down under somewhere. It's pretty dark back there, so I don't know what really is there. But it's pretty sad down here. It's going to take some serious bolstering up of these floor joists to get this level again. But I did want to do that under the staircase first. I can't really see very far back in there, but it looks like there is a bit of a basement. A lot of it's filled in, though. I don't know why all this white gravel is here, but somebody years ago must have come in and filled a lot of it in. So unfortunately, the basement area, which I was really hoping might be bigger that I could actually look around in, but it looks like it's mostly filled in. So anyway, I wanted to show this as well. Here we go. So what I got to do is splice this board onto the other one that's down below here for the floor joist. And I got to join it on the rock wall over here. It was all the underboards here are all rotted off, so I've got to get them up on here again, get them rusting on once more so that they're not rotted, and connect them up so I can get this floor level. So I'm going to be doing some cutting on this and some nailing it in. So might as well go ahead and get at it. I'm going to use a sawzall here today. One very, very handy tool for sawing stuff. It's just great. Hopefully it'll fit. Nope, gotta take off another ½ inch it looks like. So I'll go ahead and do that, and it'll be ready to put on then. So one more ½ inch and I'll have it. So as you can see, I'm working on the floor joists of the Blacksmith Shop, and I've gotten most of them all scabbed onto by others. Against the wall over by the window, there's a foundation stones, and I'm trying to get them up on those stones again. Pretty soon here, I'm going to have a level floor in this area. It's been a real job. It's been real hard work, but I'm up to it, so here we go. Okay, I'm beginning to put my floorboards back in again. I've got the floor joists pretty much the way I want them. I might add another floor joist up here to my left. With all this gravel fill in here that's kind of tumbling down into the basement, I think I might have to put some kind of barrier there to keep that from happening. But I thought I'd just go ahead and start putting on some of the floorboards again. I've got them in a pile over here. I've got most of the nails out of them, I hope. But anyway, they're beginning to go back in again. So I'm going to start doing that for a while and see how they look. I remembered the order that I took them out of, but of course I got into a hurry and didn't mark them. I'm going to try to put them in the best I can. This one has a nail in it. I missed one. Yep, right there. Gotta hold it out a little bit. Look at that. Best fit that I can get on. Sure feels better than it used to. Once I get all these in, I'm going to nail them down too. Stay for a few years. Nail in it. Two of them. I don't like the way this one goes. I think I'm going to switch it. switch it. Yep, I like that better. Some nails sticking up. Get them out. This board's broken pretty badly. I'm going to saw part of it off and put a smaller piece right in here, so it's not so broken up looking. Short section will fit right in there. Okay. So here I am working on the last piece that I need to put in for this section of the blacksmith shop on the floor that I've been replacing. So I have to trim it up a bit, but I'm going to go ahead and get it sawed out and get going with it. Well, I finished the first 1/4 of the floor repair in the blacksmith shop. I finally have the floor so it can be walked on. I still have to nail down some bouncy boards, but I can get to that too. But it was really bad in here. The floor joists had rotted off over here near this north wall. There was a lot of moisture coming in because there was no gutters on the building. There was a lot of termite damage, so I had to replace the floor joist down below, cut off some of the termite-ridden parts and replace them with good, strong 2x6s, 2x8s, 2x10s, 2x12s, whatever might have been available. But anyway, this is the part now that I have to get to. There's holes in the floor back here. The floor is very saggy, kind of in the middle like it was back where I was. And, well, let's see. But they're just holes. As you can see, there's holes in the floor, and I've got to get to them. And anyway, I'm going to work on this part next, but it goes all the way down to the ground here in different spots. And anyway, that's going to be my next project, is this part of the floor. But I'm real happy that I've got the upper part here done. But it was a job, but it had to be done. And now people can walk on it with a little bit of certainty and not having to stumble and fall down. That was my main concern, was for safety reasons. And it's also stronger. You know, I mean, the man before me had parked classic cars in here. I think that might have contributed possibly to breaking down some of the floor joists as well. But as you can see, I've got a big job ahead of me. So I've got maybe 1/4 of it done. Down here is pretty bad at the end of this section that I just replaced. Because there was gravel put into the shop over here where the dirt floor is, dirt floor area, and I think it was dirt over here too, but they put down some gravel, but when they did that, they didn't really put a barrier in to keep the gravel from creeping downhill, and as you can see here, the floor is very uneven. It's 6 or 8 inches lower than the floors that I just did. So I've got to get this part raised up and get this gap closed here. and make it good again so it can be walked on as well. I don't quite know how I'm going to keep the gravel from creeping down anymore, but I'll have to figure out something. But I'll think about that, and I'll come up with something to get these two floors here to meet up with each other and join and have a smooth line here across. So anyway, that's going to be my next project, and I'm just going to go from there. Like I say, there's no time rush on any of this. I've got plenty of time. I'm an old retired guy, so it's going to be my hobby for the next year or so, is getting this old place all fixed up again. So I'm looking forward to it. Here's our wonderful murals in the back that Jen had put up. And we've got all the found items over here. I've got a little display. There's my forge that I also need to work on. I bought some blacksmithing tools the other day. Got a bunch of tongs from a friend of mine that had passed away, and he had a big sale, his family did. And then people have been donating things. I got the gentleman's grindstone. A friend of mine gave me this big old vise from about 1900. I don't like the newer handle I put on it, so I'm going to replace that with an older looking handle. And here's some of the items that I've been finding in the dirt, either in this room or outside digging around, putting the water lines in. I found all kinds of stuff out there. So it's been interesting working on this old place. All kinds of new items show up just about every day. Well, I'm putting in my last floor joist that I had to do because everything was rotted off. So Jen had this old beam at her house that was sitting out in the yard rotting, so I found a good use for that. And it's the last one I have to do. I'll be pulling these boards over and meeting these that are over here, and they should butt up perfectly to each other as soon as I get them level. But it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to have the floor all stable and level and secure, and people won't trip over it. So I'm really looking forward to getting that done.
And you look like a
Yeah, it's dirty work.
You look like a blacksmith.
It's dirty work, but somebody's got to do it. And it won't be you. Well, I've just put in my last floor joist on this part of the Blacksmith Shop floor. I'm going to be dragging the boards over it soon and getting them back in place. So I think that I might have this section about finished, but I wanted to show you this before I drug them back and just let you know what's going on. Well, here it is. I have this part of the Blacksmith Shop floor all leveled up again. It's got a few bouncy boards that I've got to correct, but that's okay. I've got some to get nailed down a little tighter. But I'm so happy with the way it turned out. This is the original floor from the mid-1800s, and it's still hanging in there. I love the knots in it, though. The knots are wonderful. I can't imagine the amount of footsteps it caused to wear away the background softwood and let these hard knots stay exposed like this. It just had to be so many people walking on this and animals walking on it, and it's just amazing. Here's a bouncy board I've got. As you can see, it's kind of bouncy, but I've got to get that nailed down, and I've got some other ones to do too, but I'm going to get to those also, and I'm just real happy with the way it turned out. It's finally safe to walk on again. If you can avoid tripping over a knot. But anyway, I'm glad this part of the process is done. I'm going to be moving back here to the back of the shop now. You can see right here the floor is very uneven still. Looks like by an inch or two. So I've got some more floor joists to work on. But I'm going to get them all taken up too and get them beefed up so that they're all nice and straight across here too. And but anyway, that's going to be my next process. Got a couple holes in the floor back here in the back. But I'll get those fixed up too. But there's a lot of work to do yet. But I've got, let's see, I've got half the shop done. So the other half is coming, and I can get that in the next couple weeks before it gets too darn hot, hopefully. But anyway, thought I'd show it to you, and I hope you like it as much as I do, because I really like the way it looks now. Well, as you can see, I'm having the same issue with the floor joists that are totally rotted off. They're supposed to be resting on the back wall here, on this foundation wall, which is made of limestone. Well, like this one is here. Somebody has spliced this one in sometime in the past 10, 15 years or whatever, and they've actually reached over to the wall there. There is some stone support under it holding it up. And what I've got to do is to add on to these other floor joists that are all rotted away, and put some new material on them and stretch them over to the rock foundation wall. So it's going to be a job, but that's what I do. So I'm going to be working on these and trying to get these over to the foundation wall and getting this all evened and leveled up again, so it's not all saggy and dangerous to walk on and bouncy. So anyway, I'm going to work on this section of the blacksmith shop now. Well, I have scabbed on some pieces of 2x material to extend my floor joists all the way over to the foundation wall. They had rotted off terribly, and now they're all scabbed over. So what I need to do is to bring these planks back up again that I'm standing on here and getting them back into the floor once more, and I should have a nice level floor again, strong and secure and able to be walked on for a number of years yet. Well, here it is, everyone. I finished 2/3 of the floor of the blacksmith shop. I've had to replace those rotted off floor joists that went over to the foundation wall. And I've done them now, and I've got it nice and level and easier to walk on. I still have this third to go over here, but I'm going to get to that next. You see there's a bunch of plywood and other kind of wood covering holes in the floor and dangerous spots. So I'll get all that moved out of the way and get that fixed too. But I am so happy to have most of this done now. 2/3 of the floor is done. So I'll get this last third to go, and I'm going to start working on that soon and getting it all leveled up too. But it's now safe and easy to walk on, and there shouldn't be any saggy spots anymore and any trip hazards. I do have a few boards to nail down, but I'll get to those too. But some are a little bouncy right now, but I'll get them straightened out, get them nailed down tight, and it'll be good again. So here we go. Very happy about it all. Thank you. Bye-bye.